Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Donna Thiesel, and I'm your host of Donna's Edge television talk show, Where Truth Matters. Thank you so much for watching every day, Monday through Friday, beginning at 1 p.m. on the Central Time Zones. I get to ride home with you in the afternoon. It's always such a fun ride. You can find us syndicated on Abundant Television, found on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire. And don't forget the podcast on thenewscasters.com. Back on the radio again, WZLE is a country giant station located in Abbeville, South Carolina. Everybody listens to that one online and on the dial at 92.9 FM. So make sure you check them out as well. You can also still find us on all of the social media sites, DFeasel, that's facebook.com/DFeasel, and on Twitter, and everything is out there. So thank you again so much for watching. Keep sending emails. They really do make my day. Donna@donnasedge.com. That's Donna@donnasedge.com. I've got with my friend AP Steadham, who gives me all kinds of advice and wonderful tips on my show. Definitely appreciate it, AP. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome, Donna. My pleasure. It's glad to be here as always.
And also, he has his own talk show, AP As We See It, and it's found on YouTube amongst other places as well.
Yeah, we have the YouTube channel, and then we're on Spotify. It's archived as well, and YouTube channel, and then various stations around the state. And so just check our social media platforms. At my personal one at AP Steadham and at AP As We See It. And we have some interesting people. This week, I'll just let you know, this week we're going to have the voice of Vanderbilt football. And you say, Vanderbilt football, why is that? Well, Alabama hosts Vanderbilt, and we know what happened last year, Donna. So that's a big ball game this year. Vanderbilt's undefeated for only the second time, Donna, in 80 years. Yeah, I said that, 80 years, Donna, 5-0, having that type of record. So they're very excited. Diego Pavia, the transfer quarterback from New Mexico State, and Clark Lee's done a terrific job in the transfer portal, where you can evaluate talent and acquire personnel through the NIL, name, image, and likeness. So Vanderbilt's an improved football team. They were very good last year. As we know, they upset Alabama, made a bowl game, beat Georgia Tech, and the Birmingham Bowl. So big ball game. And our other guest is Will Matthews. He'll be the sideline reporter with the University of Texas football, and they travel to play Florida, University of Florida in Gainesville. So those two big states down in Texas and Florida, noted for having outstanding high school football. I mean, so many schools in those states. They're very populated.
How do you project who's going to win?
Well, Donna, right now I think Alabama is about a 12-point favorite, playing at home, and this game must be circled twice. I'm thinking, last year Vanderbilt beat them the first time they beat a number one team, I'm thinking 60 or something like that. So it was a huge. It was probably I guess that might have been the biggest upset of the season last year. Maybe biggest upset probably. So, and Alabama's coming off that road victory over the Georgia Bulldogs. So everyone's now excited and rekindled their energy for Alabama football. They were ready to sell their season tickets though after that first game against Florida State, where they just played. They didn't play very well, and Florida State had something to do about that because they're a good football team. But so, Alabama probably should win the game, Donna, but that Diego Pavia, I tell people, he's magic. He's pretty spectacular. He knows how to win football games, and it should be a lot of fun. And then Texas, they're the favorite at Florida, of course. So, but Texas's offense has been, I don't think they're playing with 100% efficiency, let's say. Arch Manning's a new quarterback starting for them. Been there 2-3 years now. So, but Texas, they don't seem that explosive to me. They should be with all that talent on the roster, but they're not playing to their potential right now. But they're playing Florida, and Florida, they can play some pretty good defense down it, but offensively they struggle. Even though DJ Lagway's a highly recruited quarterback. So,
well, let's talk about last week's games. So, what happened there, and what's your analysis of it?
Last week down at LSU had a very good defensive team. Maybe I would say LSU. Maybe they have the best defense in the conference. I'm thinking But but offensively, Garrett Nussmeier, he's projected to be a high draft choice quarterback, son of a coach. His dad coached in college and in the NFL, in the NFL now, I believe. They're not playing very well on offense, and they went to Ole Miss, and Ole Miss beat them 24-19. So Lane Kiffin, his team's undefeated. And Don, I think one of the more fascinating stories in college football, one of them, because there's so many, but the name Trinidad Chambliss. Say, who is he? Well, he was a Division II, Donna, not an FCS level quarterback, which is right below the FBS level, like the SEC. This is Division II. He played on the championship team, Ferris State of Michigan, and he was their championship quarterback. He ends up transferring to Ole Miss. Ole Miss's projected starter, Austin Simmons, who's graduated college when he's about, I think, 19 years old or something. And he's at Ole Miss. He was the projected starter, left-hander. He was injured. Trinidad Chambliss came off the bench. The first game against Arkansas, over 400 total yards offense. His next game, 400-plus yards. I think that was the first game, Tulane, then Arkansas 400, and then last week I think over 300, and he beats LSU with, like I say, the top defense in the conference. So that's one of the great college football stories. A Division II quarterback was set up to be the reserve quarterback, ends up starting the last 2-3 games, winning them all, putting up huge numbers. And Ole Miss is undefeated, and they've leaped in the polls. And so Trinidad Chambliss, that's a name to watch the rest of the year. I don't know if, Donna, the Lane Kiffin can actually put him on the bench and put in the original starter, Austin Simmons. I wouldn't do it. I just say, look, Austin, this quarterback is playing as well as anybody in the country, top 5 in the country, let's say. And if you're a team player, you understand we're trying to win ball games, and he's giving us the best chance at the moment. But be ready. But circumstances change in life, and this is what you learn if you get professional football. And so we're going to have to continue with Trinidad Chambliss, the Division II transfer from Ferris State. So that was a big win for Ole Miss, of course, and they were at home. And LSU wasn't a bad loss, Donna. They only lost by 5 points, but offensively, they're not playing up to their standard, because usually LSU, they have a lot of very good, fast receivers, difficult to guard. But LSU they can't run the football. They're having difficulty running the football, so they're not playing complementary football on offense. So that's trouble for Brian Kelly moving forward. So that was a big game. Of course, the Alabama-Georgia game, everybody was excited for that ball game. Alabama got off to a 14-0 start, held on for a 24-21 win on the road, beat Georgia, and now they have just a one loss. It was a non-conference game, and Georgia has the one loss. So it's a very long season. I told everybody after the first week, don't get all excited. Don't get too high. Don't get too low. Many games to be played. Your team can improve. Coaches make decisions and changes and responsibilities and personnel, and your fortunes can improve. So that's the case with Alabama. They're feeling good about themselves. Ty Simpson has been hot as a pistol, about 75% completion or more. So he's playing as well as any quarterback in America, top 5, let's say. And Alabama hosting Vanderbilt, and they all know what happened last year. So that's a big game this weekend. I was at the Mississippi State-Tennessee game, Don. Mississippi State, tough on defense, pretty good on offense. They gave up a couple of touchdowns. When I say gave up, Tennessee intercepted the ball and ran it back for a touchdown, and then there was a scoop and score where they sacked the quarterback, the ball popped out, defender picked it up and ran for a touchdown. So that's 2 touchdowns, which to a team like Tennessee that was averaging 50 points down, you can't let 2 touchdowns happen defensively. Take the ball away from you and score. I mean, if it's one thing, if the ball's intercepted, you tackle them, make them drive the field, or the ball pops out, you tackle the defender. But both scores were immediate on that play. So they lost in overtime, 41-34 to Tennessee, a valiant effort, but not good enough. So Tennessee Joey Aguilar, as we stated before the preseason, that was going to be an upgrade at quarterback for Tennessee. Played very well for Tennessee. And they have a good offense, tall receivers, big receivers. And defensively, they just play well enough to keep themselves in the game, and the offense takes over. So that was a big game. We saw where Arkansas was playing Notre Dame, and I thought Arkansas would play an excellent game against Notre Dame. First time those two teams met coming to Fayetteville. Arkansas fell apart, gave up 56 points, scored, I think, 13. Sam Pittman, the head coach, was relieved of his duties shortly thereafter. So they have the interim coaches, Bobby Petrino, who was the head coach at Arkansas about 10 years ago. He was the offensive coordinator. So now they have a new coach. That's the first coach fired this season in the SEC. Might be one or two more. We'll see. But so Arkansas fell flat in their face, which was very disappointing because offensively they have some talent. But Notre Dame, they're facing a situation where they can't lose anymore if they want to be in the playoffs because they already have 2 losses. So that game was every game they play now, they're trying to win to get into the playoffs. I mean, some teams have a leeway down. They can lose another game. Like Georgia lost a game. They could probably lose another game. Alabama could probably lose another game, maybe make the playoffs. LSU, maybe one more game. Ole Miss is undefeated. We'll see what happens. But so those were some of the big games.
Now, who's your surprise team so far?
Say that one more time, Donna. What was that?
Who is your surprise team so far? Who's made it out of the kinks?
Yeah, right. Surprise team right now. I would say Ole Miss undefeated. They beat LSU at home. That was a game that they were circling on the schedule. Last year they lost by a small margin, but they were hosting LSU this time. And I think Missouri's still undefeated, and they're going to get some conference games in the coming weeks. We're going to find out if they're for real as a team, a contender. So I don't know, Missouri. I would say Missouri and Missouri right now. Those are two teams that, if they continue to win, you say, okay, we thought Ole Miss was going to be pretty good, but we weren't sure if they could run the table or end up with, let's say, 1 win for the season. Yeah, and then Texas A&M down, they're still undefeated. They're still undefeated. They beat Auburn. Auburn in that game, the score was 16-10. Texas A&M survived, but Auburn did not convert 1 third down. I think they were 0 for 13. And that is extremely difficult to win. They were lucky they're in the ball game, not converting one third down. So Auburn offensively, I think the defense is playing some good football, but offensively they can't score points.
Still not their year. We're going to have to go into a commercial break, and we'll be right back in just a few minutes. Everybody hang in there. Okay, we'll be right back.
Queen City Used Car Sales has been serving drivers in the Northeast Alabama area for years with a quality selection of late model used cars, SUVs, and pickup trucks. On top of our extensive selection and competitive prices, we offer professional auto financing services for used car buyers of all credit levels. Whether you've just begun your search or you're ready to secure your next vehicle, at Twin City Used Car Sales, you will drive away with the vehicle of your dreams. The sales and finance staff at Twin City Used Car Sales looks forward to serving you, and you can apply for financing online before your visit to our used dealership in Gadsden, Alabama. Check us out on the web at twincityusedcars.com or go by our location at 901 First Avenue, Gadsden, Alabama. We sincerely look forward to serving you. At Lamone's Mexican Restaurant, located in Henniger, Alabama, and voted Best Mexican Restaurant of DeKalb County, Alabama 2020. We're here to serve you with authentic Mexican cuisine. Order easily online by going to lamonsmex.com or call 256-657-3999 to place your order. We're open Sunday through Thursday, 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. and Friday and Saturday, 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Whether you're celebrating a cozy date night for two or a celebration for a crowd, at Lamone's you'll love our atmosphere and friendly servers. Thank you for dining with Lamone's Mexican Restaurant. At Liberty Bank, we're all about community, whether it's to help with a charity fundraiser or help families in need. Toys at Christmas or a local football team, we're here for you. You see, we realize the importance of family. Sometimes it's to build a new home or necessary home repairs. We're here for you. If you like the feel of a small town bank with all the conveniences of a big city bank, we're here to serve you. You will find us at any of our convenient locations in DeKalb, Marshall, Etowah, and Blount counties in North Alabama. You can call and speak with any of our friendly staff at 256-659-2175 or check us out on the web at libertybankal.com. And thank you for your support of our community. Member FDIC Equal Housing Lender. The only place I buy my beef is Lone Tree Ranch in Collinsville, Alabama. Their cattle is born and raised on their ranch, grass and grain fed, and you can feel confident when you serve your family and friends because their beef is all natural and no antibiotics or hormones are added. You can buy whole beef or perhaps go in with family or friends and buy half. Their customer service is number one as they take care of the delivery to their local processor and can deliver to your home for a small added fee. They also offer herd replacement heifers. I always call Lone Tree Ranch in Collinsville, Alabama for my beef specialty recipes and cookouts, and you can too. Food shortages are increasing, so buy local by calling 256-523-6462. That's 256-523-6462.
We are back. My name is Donna, and I'm your host of Donna's Edge television talk show where truth matters. You can find us on the radio, too. And we're really excited to be with the country giant WZLA, located right here in Abbeville, South Carolina. Great place to be. You've got to mention South Carolina. And what's going on there?
Yeah, good win by South Carolina. They played Kentucky. They've beaten them now in succession 3 or 4 times. So that was a good rebound game for them. South Carolina, they needed that victory, especially at home, Don, to try to stay in contention for doing some good things this year. So I know the people of South Carolina were happy with that win over Kentucky. I think it was 35-13. It's convincing win. So they're excited.
This area, if you go to the nearest town, Abbeville's a very small town, but the next one up is Greenwood. Now, normally it's a busy, cars all over the place, whatever. But when those teams are playing Clemson and South Carolina, it turns into a ghost town area around here. If you want to shop, that's a good day to shop. You'll have the whole town to yourself. Right.
Yeah. You'll get all the bargains that day for sure. Yeah. But South Carolina, they're trying to do something. They have a bye this week, Donna. South Carolina has a bye, but their next game after they have this bye, Donna, will be against LSU in Baton Rouge. Mm-hmm. So, like I said, LSU struggling on offense, and they have a good defense, so that's going to be a tough road game for them in the next couple of weeks. But they'll play down in Baton Rouge. Yeah.
What do you guys say about Clemson?
Yeah, Clemson down to 3 losses already. Dabo, Sweeney, there probably could be a couple more this season. I think if I was Dabo, I'm spending the rest of this season doing the very best I that I can with the team, but I'm thinking more long term. What do we need to do to change these outcomes? We've had good talent at our program for years. We've been in contention, been in the playoffs many, many times, couple national championships, winning the ACC multiple times. But something's not right. Something is not right with our program right now. If they have 3 losses, we've only played 4. I think it's 4 games right now. And so Clemson, he has to maybe change his philosophy, possibly. The talent that he's acquiring, maybe some of his schemes. But something is, when you have 3 losses early, which is uncharacteristic of a Clemson team, it's not just that we were unlucky or we made a few mistakes. Something is drastically not right with your program at this point.
Yeah, a lot of disappointed folks, but like you've said before, Clemson, South Carolina, their fans still love them. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, great. I had them picked really high this year. I spoke to my contact over there, and he was really praising the talent level. On offense, they have a quarterback now, Cade Klubnik, returning for the 3rd season. And we mentioned this many times. He improved last year. It was his 2nd year. They were in the playoffs, and he was playing much better than the prior year, but he's regressed. So when your quarterback regresses, Donna, that's the main focus of your team, the quarterback and your defense, usually. Offensive line right in there, second to the quarterback, let's say. So he's got to revamp that program, I think. I don't know if it's going to be major changes or just some tweaking, but when you have a 3rd-year quarterback and you're losing ball, you already lost 3. Like I said, there's potentially a couple more losses in there, Donna.
Well, who's the backup quarterback?
Oh yeah, Donna, I don't know his name offhand, but Cade Klubnik. I mean, like I said, he's been with the program many years and successful, but maybe it's not all the blame is on his shoulders. Maybe not. I don't know. That's something they must examine. But I was told that they have a lot of talent at wide receiver and other areas of their offense and tight ends and running backs, but they have just really had difficulty winning ball games and the offense not playing well.
That's right. Who is in your overall top 10? And then let's talk about the SEC top 10.
Yeah, the SEC top 10. Down to the ones that I have from the SEC in my top 10, I have Texas at number 3, Georgia number 6, even with the loss, Texas A&M number 8. I have Ole Miss at number 9 and Oklahoma number 10. Those are in my top 10 from the SEC. And then additionally, because the poll that I'm a voting member is only the Super 16. So I also have Tennessee at 11, Alabama 12, LSU 13, Vanderbilt 14. Yeah. So I think that's 9 teams, from the SEC in my top 16. So it's loaded with SEC teams.
Okay, 1 to 5. Who's number 1 to 5?
Yeah, I have Ohio State now. They supplanted Penn State, who was beaten by Oregon in overtime. I have Oregon number 2, Texas number 3, Indiana number 4, and I have Penn State at number 5 right now.
That's changed quite a bit.
Change up there. Yeah, a little bit change up there. Sure is. Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about some of the other games that were played this past weekend and what you're projecting for this coming weekend.
Right. Well, like I say, that Penn State game, that was huge, Donna. They had the whiteout, they call it, where everybody's wearing the white shirts. And that was a home game for them. I think it was 111,000 people, Donna.
Wow.
In Oregon had a big lead. I think it was 14 or something like that. And Penn State came back to tie it, went to overtime, and they lost in overtime. So James Franklin, Donna, the head coach of Penn State, he was at Vanderbilt, had success at Vanderbilt, a couple of bowl teams as well, 9-win seasons at Vanderbilt, which is very difficult. But he has trouble beating these top 10 teams. His record, I don't know. I think it's something like 4-21, something like that. He really struggles winning against these top-rated teams. He can win 10 games, which is great in this playoff era, because if he can be 10-2 in the Big Ten, he's going to be in the playoffs. But at some point, you have to beat these teams Ohio State and Oregon and Michigan, and they play Indiana, which is a top team now on the Big Ten this year. So that was a one of the marquee games besides Alabama, traveling to Georgia. So that was a big game there, the Penn State game. Another big game was Illinois. They got beat by Indiana. Indiana scored 63 points on them, 63-10, something. And they hosted USC, who was undefeated, and they were ahead, then they lost the lead, and then they won it with a field goal with no time on the clock to beat USC. So that was, I think that was quite a coaching job by Brett Bielema. Your team lost by 50-plus points to Illinois, and then you come back the next week and you beat USC at home in a dramatic fashion. I think that was pretty significant.
There where the kicker winds up being the hero of the game.
Yeah. I think it was 41 yards, I believe, Don. I think that kick. So that was that's nice to know your kicker can make those field goals in the clutch and win a ball game for you. But Don, there's so much football to be played. I don't think anybody has a stronghold on being the favorite. I think Ohio State always has talent. They have a good quarterback, Julian Sayin. He's from California. He transferred from Alabama. He was at Alabama for 5 minutes. Then transferred. He's the starting quarterback for Ohio State. And like I said, I don't think there's anybody who's a prohibitive favorite. There's some teams with excellent rosters, but they all have to play and compete at home and on the road and then in the playoffs eventually.
Would you say this season so far has been kind of sporadic, where you'll have a winner and then they fall from grace and then somebody else takes the place?
Yeah, right. I mean, like I said, the season started with Alabama losing. That was big around the country. Then you have Georgia losing now. You have Penn State losing already. You have Tennessee lost to Georgia early. I'm trying to think of those. Those are the teams that I have in the top 16. LSU lost. That's a big team, right? So those are some big teams in the top 16 that have already lost, and we're only 4, 5, 6 weeks into the season. Yeah.
Well, it's the change of everything, and I think that brings a lot to it. Now, they're coming on your show, AP as we see it. Who do you have as a guest?
Yeah, it's going to be Andrew Allegretta. He is the voice of Vanderbilt football. And, of course, they're playing Alabama in Tuscaloosa, so that's a huge game. And then we have Will Matthews. He's the sideline reporter for the University of Texas. He travels to play the University of Florida in Gainesville. So I thought those would be 2 games to concentrate on because this week, the SEC, I think there's only 5 games on the schedule, Don. All these teams have byes. Auburn, Arkansas, LSU, Ole Miss, South Carolina, Tennessee, and Missouri all have a bye. Not playing.
Yeah, it's kind of unusual, isn't it? That many teams.
It is. That's a lot of teams that have a bye. Yeah.
Wow. AP, 1 minute left in this segment. What would you like to say before you leave?
Yeah, I'd like to say that the SEC, each week it's so competitive. I think if you look at the list of teams from top to bottom, 1 through 16, I think even though Kentucky, they're having trouble offensively, I think every other team can beat you. 1 through 15. That 15 can beat number 1, or number 14 can beat number 3, or so. It's going to be competitive all the way down to the last weekend, and it's a survival mode, really. If you can outlast your opponents and your rivals, and the SEC is very, very strong. And they'll probably end up getting, I think, 4 teams. It looks like 4 teams in the playoffs this year, Don. Looks like to me.
Well, something, you made this prediction early in the season, and it's panned out the way you said. Absolutely.
Yeah, so a lot of good ball games left.
Oh, yeah. AP, we're going to have to call it a day. Thank you guys so much for watching, and make sure you check out AP on his YouTube channel and among other areas as well. Where there's a podcast, he's on it. But again, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time around. AP, hang around so I can get you scheduled for next week.